I'm Tu Cam, and this is Little Zoai. We want to send greetings from Vietnam to your beautiful country. Thank you so much for always showing us love, following along, and supporting Review Tu Cam. Today, I want to share some very special moments of my child and me from the past few days, moments when our life has slowly become more peaceful and stable. My mornings always start with getting Zoai ready. Since he's still small, before going to work, I have to keep him happy, so he'll sit and play quietly. I carry him out to the yard, cuddling him and whispering, "Shui, today, Mommy's going to plant vegetables and pick pomelos for you to eat. You stay here and play nicely, so Mommy can work okay." I put a little hat on his head and laughed. "Here we go. Gotta wear your hat so you look like a handsome young man." He giggled, his bright eyes sparkling, and I felt so much lighter inside. I reminded him once more, "Sit here and play. Don't mess with Mommy's things. I'll go pick pomelos and be right back." Then I picked up my basket and headed out to the garden. Today, I'll take you along to harvest pomelos, a fruit very common in Vietnam. The trees were heavy with fruit, their leaves lush and green, each pomelo round and shiny. Some had green rinds, others had turned yellow, and some varieties even had a pinkish hue when ripe. Inside, the segments could be white pink or red, with a taste ranging from sweet to slightly tangy, but always refreshing and easy to enjoy. Did you know that pomelos aren't just a healthy fruit? In Vietnam, we also see them as a symbol of luck and prosperity. During Lunar New Year, or the Mid-Autumn Festival, nearly every family places a pomelo on the 5-fruit tray. It's like a wish for health and abundance for the whole year. After harvesting, I took the pomelos to the market. In the countryside, pomelos are very affordable sometimes, just 10,000 dong, about 40 cents each. Or I'll even buy a whole basket full at once. Only 30,000 dong for the whole basket. Each pomelo was carefully picked, sweet, juicy, and perfect to enjoy at home or give to relatives as a gift. What made me happiest that morning was how well little Zoai behaved. He sat and played quietly at home, not touching any of my things. Every time I looked at him and saw him smile at me, I felt a new wave of motivation. No matter how hard the work gets, as long as my child is safe and happy, every struggle feels lighter. When I got home, I was tidying up and preparing to build a small water station when suddenly I saw a familiar figure at the gate. Before I could even react, Nam walked in. It turned out he had just finished a work trip and came straight over. What surprised me most was that he didn't come empty-handed. On his shoulder was an entire set of tables and chairs. He set them down and said, "I brought these for you. Having a table and chairs will make it much easier for you to eat and drink in your new kitchen." I just stood there overwhelmed with mixed emotions, surprised, happy, and touched by how thoughtful he was toward me and my child. I took him to see the new kitchen. I had just finished it. It was spacious and airy. I told him it was all thanks to Shuyan and his father, who had worked so hard helping me building the walls, putting up the roof, arranging each brick. Thanks to them, I now had a warm space to cook and gather. Hearing this, Nam looked a little regretful. He said, "I feel bad that I couldn't come to help because of sudden work. I just hoped Chuyen didn't have to carry too much of the burden." I understood his concern, but I gently replied, "That's just how work is. Everyone gets busy sometimes. We can't always plan it all. I already feel so lucky that Shuyen and his father helped me this much." Looking at the set of tables and chairs Nam brought, I felt like the kitchen suddenly became complete. Now we could sit down to eat right in our new kitchen talk, together on rainy or sunny days, no longer having to stand or use tiny makeshift stools like before. Something that seemed so simple turned out to warm my heart so much. I thought to myself, happiness doesn't always have to be something grand. Sometimes it's just knowing that someone thinks of you, noticing the small details in your life. For me, Nam's unexpected return with that set of tables and chairs made that day unforgettable. When I mentioned that I was planning to build a small water channel to bring water into the kitchen for daily use, Nam immediately offered, "Well, I'm not busy right now. Let me have a cup of water and then I'll help you with it." I hesitated a little and asked, "You've just come back from a long trip. You must be tired. Why don't you rest first?" But he just smiled and said shortly, "I've already rested, don't worry." Hearing that, I felt more at ease, so we started working together. I went to get some leftover bamboo from the other day and brought it out for him to use. He dug holes to plant the posts, and I handed the bamboo to him as he worked. Nam was very careful, explaining as he went. The posts need to be packed firmly into the ground. Otherwise, when water runs through, it'll soften the soil and make them unstable. And the bigger the posts, the stronger and longer lasting the water channel will be. Listening to him, I could feel how thoughtful and meticulous he was. In no time, the frame of the posts was done. He started cutting bamboo to make the platform. He turned to me with a smile and said, "You actually brought more bamboo than we need. There'll still be some left when we're finished." I was about to let him finish up while I went inside to cook lunch. Nam nodded and said he'd stay to eat with me and little Zuai. Hearing that warmed my heart even more. I went into the kitchen, started slicing meat to stir fry with tomatoes, and washed some fresh greens for lunch. Meanwhile, outside, Nam kept working diligently he tied each piece of bamboo tightly with wire to make the water channel sturdier. While working, he called out, "I can smell the stir-fry smells so good I'm starving already." I couldn't help but laugh, and suddenly the whole house felt warmer and more alive. After a whole morning of hard work, the water channel was finally finished. I tried letting the water flow, and the stream rushed steadily right into the kitchen. Nam looked at it and said, "With this, you won't have to go all the way out there anymore. It'll be so much easier." In that moment, I could feel how convenient this little project was, but more than that, the happiness of having someone willing to share the work with me. We sat down together for lunch in the new kitchen. The air still carried the faint scent of fresh bamboo, and the midday sunlight came in through the cracks, making the space feel even cozier. On the table, we had stir-fried pork with tomatoes, some boiled greens, and especially a bowl of crispy, pickled eggplant. As soon as Nam saw it, he exclaimed, "Wow, it's been so long since I've had this." While eating, he picked up a piece and smiled, saying, "You cook so well. It's been such a long time since I've had a meal with you." Hearing that, my heart sank a little, because it was true. He often had to be away on work trips. But then he quickly added cheerfully, "Now, with little Zoai here, it feels so much happier." Watching him eat while also turning to play with my child, I felt that this simple meal was filled with happiness. After lunch, Zoai fell asleep peacefully. The two of us carried the cupboard down into the kitchen to make things more convenient. It was just a small task, but doing it together, I truly felt the sense of sharing, of being connected like a real family. What touched me the most came after when we sat down to talk. I knew his work trips weren't easy, that Nam must go through a lot. Yet what he said to me was, he said, "Whenever I'm away on work trips, I worry about you a lot. I just don't want you and the baby to struggle at home." Hearing that, my eyes suddenly stung with tears. I knew he cared about me, and I cared about him just as much. I shared with him the thing that worried me most. Every time you travel for work, I get scared. Because the last time you left, so many things happened, and I'm afraid it could happen again. Saying it out loud made me feel a little lighter, though the fear was still there. Nam reassured me, his voice firm, yet gentle. "As soon as I finish my work, I'll come back right away to see you and the baby. You two, just hang in there. If anything comes up, I'll be here. You don't have to worry anymore." His words gave me strength. I told myself I needed to take care of my health, to eat well, so I could look after my child. I only hoped he wouldn't worry too much about us, because what brought me peace was his final words. "As long as you and the baby are happy and at peace, that's enough to make me happy too." It was such a simple thing to say, but it carried so much meaning. Little Zoe and I will do our very best. Thank you for listening to the story of our small home, a place where every meal and every heartfelt word becomes a source of great strength.